Good morning, third graders. It is Friday. Yay, we made it. So this is the end of week 2 of digital learning, and Miss Reynolds and I have told your parents that this is catch-up day. So for those of you that have turned everything in, hopefully you'll have some free time today. Don't forget to read, of course. And for those of you that need a little extra time to catch up on assignments, today is your day. I am going to start this morning by reading chapter 10 of Bat and the Waiting Game. And chapter 10 is called Missing Connections. Mom's perfectly average station wagon felt decidedly less average that evening when she collected Bat from Israel's house. "So how was it?" Mom asked, putting the car in reverse to go back down the driveway. "Mom," Bat said, "have you ever thought about getting a truck?" "A truck?" Mom said. She shifted into drive and stepped on the gas. "Yes," Bat said, "a big one." "Actually," Mom said, "the first car I bought when I was 18 years old was a truck." "Really? Was it like Tom's truck?" "Tom?" asked Mom, glancing over at Bat. "Israel's dad," said Bat. "Ah, I didn't realize you were on a first-name basis." "It's no big deal," Bat said. "Tom is cool." Mom laughed. "Careful, or you might make me jealous. You've never called me cool." "Anyway," she said, "do you have a good time with Israel?" "Mm-hmm," said Bat. Then he realized that he hadn't yet asked about Thor. "Oh," he said, "is Thor okay? Did you remember to give him his 4 o'clock feeding?" "Of course I did," Mom said. She flicked on her turn signal and made a right onto their street, Plum Lane. "Thor is great. He's in the back." "You put Thor in the trunk?" Bat's voice went high and squeaky with indignation. "He's just fine," Mom said, and she pulled into their driveway, put the car in park, and turned the key. Bat unlatched his seatbelt, threw open his car door, and ran around to the back of the car. He clicked open the rear door and pushed it up. "Ooh," he said. There was Thor's travel carrier, a second-hand cat kennel. But there was something else back there, too, a plastic gate or fence or something. "It's a doggy pen," Mom said. "Someone donated it to the clinic today, and I thought we could use it for Thor. What do you think? Want to help me set it up?" This pen, Bat thought, was even cooler than Tom's truck. They got the 4 sections of the pen, 4 plastic sides. It turned out to form a square into the house. Mom tried to set the 2 pieces she was carrying down in the living room, but Bat carried his 2 sections all the way down the hallway and into his bedroom, where he intended to build it. Then he immediately started trying to figure out how to connect them together. "We can do it later, Bat," Mom said, standing in the doorway of his room, "after dinner and bath time." "I want to do it now," Bat said, all his concentration on hooking the pieces together. He could see, though, that something was missing. The 2 plastic panels just wouldn't latch together. "Are there any more parts?" he asked. "I don't think so," Mom said. And she came into Bat's room to see what the problem was. "Oh, there must be connecting rods that slip into the edges here to hold the sections together." "I don't know, Bat. Maybe they're at the clinic and I just didn't see them." "We have to go back to the clinic and find them," Bat said. "Not tonight, honey. It's getting late. We're all done being out in the world for the day." Okay, and here is the illustration of Bat trying to put together the pen for Thor. "We have to build the pen for Thor." Bat felt anxious, the anxious knot tightening in his chest the way it sometimes did. He knew he should walk away from the problem and take deep, calming breaths, but he didn't want to walk away from the problem and take deep, calming breaths. He wanted to fix the problem. "Bat," said Mom, "you've had a long day, haven't you?" She knelt down beside him and took his hands in hers. She squeezed his hands and released, her signal to him that she was going to try to help him calm down. If he didn't want the help, Bat knew he could take a step away, but he stayed still. His mom moved her hands to his wrists and squeezed and released, and then she worked her way up his arms, squeezing his forearms and his elbows and his biceps and his shoulders, and then working her way back down to his hands. "Baby," she said, and it was this word that pushed Bat over the edge. He wasn't a baby. He wasn't anywhere close to being a baby. Thor was a baby, and Bat was his caretaker. And right now he wanted to take care of Thor by building his playpen. And if that meant going back to the clinic, even though it was closed for the day, then that is what they should do. And Bat didn't understand why Mom couldn't see how important this was and how right he was and just what he wanted her to do. Okay, let me reread that sentence, because you know how sometimes when we see the font and how it changes, we have to change our voice. So a couple of these words are in all caps, so I'm going to try to reread this with the right expression. Bat didn't understand why Mom couldn't see how important this was and how right he was, and just do what he wanted her to do. Okay, that's better. "Bat, honey." "Shh," Mom said, and that's when Bat heard the sound he was making. He hadn't even noticed that he'd started making the sound, the high-pitched whine that seemed to come out of him when he was the most upset, when he had reached the end of his rope, as Mom called it. But even though he hated making the noise, it felt good to make it too, just as it felt good to bounce on the soles of his feet. Mom's hands were still squeezing Bat's arms, and then she put her arms around him, pulling him close, and she held him just like that, in a nice, tight hug. And Bat wanted at the same time to pull away from her and to never be let go. She held him until he stopped needing to make high-pitched whining sounds, until he stopped needing to bounce on the soles of his feet, until the knot in his chest began to relax and unwind. Then she said very softly, "Come on, Bat, let me run a bath for you." And Bat let her lead him away from Thor's pen. Okay, and that is the end of chapter 10. I want to let you know what chapter 11 is called, so you can start to think about what might possibly be going on in this next chapter. Chapter 11 is called Banana Fish. All one word, banana fish. I wonder what in the world's going to happen. All right, love you guys. See you later.